Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is your tarot and oracle reading for the week of September 18th to the 24th, 2023. First card out for you is Thinking of You with the number 55, which is the number of change. Someone has you heavily on their mind and on their heart. I feel that so strongly. Honestly, I feel like it might even be multiple people. So keep that in mind. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of people are just like a little smitten over you, thinking about you, sending you good vibes through the ethers, and just really even not over you if it's an ex. Like multiple people, multiple people are thinking about you. Next, we have two cards that came out for you here with Milk and Honey, which is one of the most positive cards in this deck, and Not for You with the Fortune cookie that says nope coming out of it on a chessboard. Okay, let's unpack this. So Milk and Honey is really, really positive. I am seeing you in a powerful position where you're enjoying life, you're living life to the fullest. Your self-love is at an all-time high. You're taking care of yourself, drinking water, exercising, hopefully, eating nutritious foods, having good friends, good support system in your life. Overall, just taking good care of yourself. And it feels like life is getting better for you. Like you're evolving, you're growing, you're thriving, you're moisturized, you're in your lane. You are stunning. Okay, so that's what that means. And then we move on to this card, Not for You. And the symbolism here, there's a lot to unpack. We have a chessboard, which is like a game, and holding up this game very delicately with a little frame here that like doesn't really have anything in it but like a little ghost face. And I'm seeing here like you just not wanting to play games. Like, it's not for me. I'm not playing those games anymore. I'm not gonna tolerate as much as I tolerated in the past. So there could be someone who's thinking about you where it's like the feelings are not mutual, the feelings are not reciprocated, or even if you have feelings for this person, your self-love and lack of wanting to play games or be with someone immature has you, it's stronger than the feelings that you may have within, okay? This could also be honestly a situation where if you're in a committed, now I'm gonna get really real with you guys, so don't get mad at me. If you're in a committed monogamous relationship and you find yourself having feelings for somebody outside of that relationship, which, let's be honest, it happens sometimes, so don't shoot me, okay? I'm not even monogamous, so this ain't even my story that I'm telling, but it's having the maturity to not act on those feelings, okay? And that's what you're having, which is fine. And that's, nobody talks about this, and I think we should, because it's a normal part of the human experience. And if it's talked about more, then we could hurt people less, okay? So, you know what? Other tarot readers, other people may not mention it, but I'm gonna mention it. If you have feelings for someone who is not your partner and you're monogamous, you shouldn't be having those feelings. First off, I want to say it's fine to have feelings for people. It's whether or not you act on them or engage with them that is the issue. And I'm seeing you being strong and not acting on those feelings, which is great. Even having a little system in place. When I was monogamous, when I would catch a crush or a feeling for someone who was not my partner, I just wouldn't see that person for like 3 to 4 weeks, especially if they were like a friend or a colleague or something. Like, I just wouldn't really interact with them for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'd come back fine. Honestly, no crush, totally fine, and I can enjoy a platonic connection with them. So feelings are very fleeting, and if you keep that in mind, like, you don't have to keep, unless you keep investing them, There's a great reader on YouTube called Minopon Tarot, and I love his weekly videos. And he says something along the lines of, I'm totally copying from another tarot reader, I know. The grass is green where you water it, as opposed to the grass is green on the other side, which is this concept of everything that you don't have, you want. And it's like, no, you can have happiness right where you're at if you water that grass and you nurture that and you protect it. So it's kind of saying like the opposite, don't feed into feelings for someone who just either plays games and isn't good for you, or if like you're in a committed relationship that you're happy for, don't feed into feelings that you may have for someone outside of that connection, okay? I'm seeing the maturity. It really does require maturity to think like that. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not mature, which is why so many people cheat, which is why I'm not monogamous, but that is not the point. We have Gifts from God coming out as well. And it says, Archangel Sandalphon, we angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. This came out for another air sign as well, I believe Libra or Gemini. And beautiful, beautiful messages here today. I'm seeing so much good energy for you this week so far. It feels like a lot of crushy crush, smitten energy going on here. By the way, if you're single, this could be someone having feelings for you who you're really into, and then also you could have like an ex who is still into you, and that's where the maturity comes in, where you say, you know what, I still have feelings for you too, but I know that you're not good for me because this already failed, and I'm not going to keep watering that pot. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Like you may have feelings for someone who you know is not good for you. Okay, or good for your life or your situation, and it's like, I am making the conscious decision to not feed into those feelings. And you know what, when your mind is stronger than your emotions, honestly, like that's a sign of strength. Not to say that your emotions are bad, but it's like when your conscious intention is what's ruling your actions and not your emotions ruling your action, that is when you're mature, honestly. I feel like that's when you make the shift from immaturity to maturity, when your conscious will decides what happens, not your emotional reactions. So beautiful maturity going on here this week for you. We're gonna get 9 cards, 3 rows of 3. I have not seen any of them, so I'm flipping them over one at a time just with you guys. First card out for you is the Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so this is that not for you energy that I was picking up on. You know, this is a situation that doesn't seem grounded. It doesn't seem stable, you know, and you may want to explore it more. It's exciting. That's the thing. Unstable people and situations, even like jobs, risks, whatever, it's more exciting, you know, because the instability of it, I feel like it triggers so much more happiness in your brain, because it's like, this was very unstable and I won, I got it. You know, our brain likes to be challenged. However, find that challenge in productive things like sports or challenging your mind to learn something new. Like, don't find that stimulation in things like matters of the heart in your relationships. It's not worth it. It's not a gamble that you should be taking here. So I am seeing an unstable, also like immature. It is a knight, so it's not like they're a page, it's not like they're a child, but I would say they probably have the maturity of like a teenager or young adult, even if they're like 50 years old, you know. And that's just unattractive, you know. It's unattractive. Even if it's like a business that like wants to work with you and they give you an offer, you know, the way they operate their business may be a little bit unprofessional. They may be newer, not in the game long enough to really establish themselves. So, Spirit speaks to me through like random memories in my brain. And I just thought of a video that I was watching the other day, and someone was saying how well organized Japan is as a country, and how the whole transit system and like everything is figured out perfectly. And that's because, you know, it's been a country for so many years, like hundreds, thousands of years, right? As opposed to America, which is very new as a country. And we ain't got nothing figured out, you know, we're sitting here shooting each other. So I don't know why that just came into my mind. I feel like it's connecting with like, you don't want to kind of invest in something that's still so new. They're figuring out the kinks, you know, whether it's like a person who's not very experienced in relationships and they're not really stable, or a job, like a business that is newer and they haven't really settled. They still have issues to overcome. Even a country, it could be a country for some of you. Like, you want to go to a country that's more established and has their stuff figured out, like public transportation and, you know, not killing each other. That would be cool. So I'm seeing a bit of that energy for you. Second card out is the 9 of Cups reversed. This came out in the same exact spot in reverse for Libra. So you guys are very similar. If you want, go watch Libra's reading too. Even if you're not a Libra, it may resonate with you. And this talks about happiness and trying to focus on your own happiness. And it's a work in progress. I feel like you're in the middle of a spiritual lesson, if you will, about self-love and how to say no to people and establish boundaries and protect your alone time, your peace. Third card out for you is the 9 of Wands in reversed. You know, this is a card of fear. I'm afraid. Some of you may have trust issues from the past. Yeah, or like I'm getting a lot of anxiety from you. It may be like clinical though. That's the thing that I'm seeing here. I'm not sure. I mean, it could definitely be rooted in trauma, 100%. but it feels like your body itself has a lot of stress. So maybe try stretching and meditating, yoga, especially. Oh my God, read The Body Keeps Score by what's his face? I can't remember his name, but he talks in depth about how your body, your physical body, literally holds on to stress. It's a game changer. You should check it out if you like reading. Author is controversial, but good concepts that he came up with. I feel like a lot of the best scientists in the world are like, and musicians and artists, honestly, like a lot of the best creators in the world are just egotistical people. But yeah, moving on. Second row out. I'm going off on all sorts of tangents today. Fourth card is the Magician in reverse. Yes, right underneath that Knight of Swords. I'm definitely seeing a manipulator, narcissist type of energy. And this is like, nope, not for me. That's where that energy is coming in. They're thinking about you. They're trying to like breadcrumb you, stay in your life, or get you to work with them, whatever it may be. And you're like, nope, not for me. This could even be an old boss like begging you to get your job back if you quit. That's happened to me before. It's so funny. They were so abusive at that old job of mine, and they begged for me back when I quit. I quit in the worst way possible too. I walked out mid-shift, no warning, and they still begged for me back because that's how awfully they treated me. You know, out here paying me like barely minimum wage and having me do managerial work. I'm not coming back. No, I'm gonna start my own business, and that's actually how I started my business. But anyways. Again with the tangents, do you guys have like aggressive ADHD? I know I do, but when I do these readings, I channel into your energy and my whole temperament shifts to like match yours. So I'm getting a lot of scattered energy. Maybe some of you guys are drinking coffee right now, maybe, or tea, maybe, I don't know. Picking up on some caffeinated not hyper focusing, like focusing on everything all at once, not focused energy. Moving on, center of the spread, we have the King of Wands. In reversed. Okay. Yeah, I just feel like there's some multiple people in your life who did not treat you right. And it's like you're learning how to establish boundaries and glow from within. And you're kind of energetically releasing these people. I'm getting a work situation. I'm also getting a former romantic situation, like multiple narcissists that you've dealt with in your life who are still like in your life. You know what I actually want to say here, guys, but I just got like a vision I'm picking up on. This is going to be unexpected for you. I feel like there's someone from your past, like someone who you don't think about anymore. Barely, like you barely think about them. They may try to sneak back in a very subtle way. Like, for example, you may not follow each other on Instagram at all, and then you post a story one day and you see that they saw it, and it's like, why are you stalking my Instagram? And this is someone who, again, it's next to the Magician in reverse, so it's like narcissist vibes. Okay, not a good person vibes here. And like, it's just a weird little side story of this week. I feel like, you know, why are you, I don't even think about you anymore. Why are you coming back? It could be that, and it could also be a more recent ex or recent like old friend that has left your life as well. I'm seeing, like I said, multiple people thinking about you, and I'm seeing great, you know, vibes, great people thinking about you. You're being talked about in rooms you have never entered yet. Okay, people are talking about you, your work, what you offer, how lovable you are. You know what? I am seeing something. If you're dating someone and it's been like a few months that you've been dating, I'm actually seeing like a vision of them talking about you to their family or to their friends. They may be doing that this week, whether they tell you or not. I am seeing that. Really cool. I like that. So it's not all bad. It's a lot of good. In fact, most of the conversations going on behind your back, or feelings rather, going on behind your back, it's good feelings. And even with like people who are narcissists from your past, it's still good feelings, honestly. It's just coming from people who aren't the best. So, you're very popular. 5 of Wands is coming out. Not seeing eye to eye. Yeah. I feel like you're very defensive. Because it feels like you're on edge about someone trying to communicate with you, and you're acting very defensively. And And you know what? I hate this, but sometimes it happens. If you're falling in love with like someone new, or you're in newer friendships or connections, if you've been hurt before in the past, you may be seeing some of that trust issues and defensiveness and like kind of holding them a bit at a distance coming out. So what I want to say to you is try to avoid avoidant behavior. Look into like avoidant behavior emotionally. It's used as a coping skill. It's used as a defense mechanism rather, where you don't, because it's very vulnerable to let people into your heart, especially because they could break it, they could break it as you reveal your innermost self to them. They have more leverage to break that heart, possibly. That's just how life works. And someone's trying to get into that heart space, get beyond the walls that you have up, but you're afraid because the last time you opened those walls up, you may have gotten hurt. So I'm actually literally seeing these walls as like the perimeter of like one of those ye old towns, or with like the castle and like the villagers and stuff, and then there's like a outer wall with like a gate, like in Lord of the Rings. And I'm seeing that outer wall kind of like as the heart, or the walls around your heart. And there's like a big old gate, and like you have like the thing to pull it open, and you're very, very selective about who you're opening it for. And someone new is wanting to come in to your village, and you're like, I don't know if you're like a spy, if you're here to do espionage, if you're here to try to, sabotage, kill the king or queen or whatever. Very defensive. And this person may be just what your town needs. It may be just what your heart needs. So I don't know. Try to avoid avoidance, but listen to your intuition as well. Final row out, 7th card, is the 10 of Pentacles. This is really good energy. Someone wants to be here long term. I'm also seeing really good money moves. I don't dance now. I make money moves. I don't gotta dance. I make money moves. I'm seeing that. A lot of you may be having an old workplace, like I said, who's toxic, try to get you back, and you're like, I don't do that now. I make money moves. I don't settle for less. I make money moves. You know what I mean? Same thing with like your ratty exes coming back. Like, I don't do that anymore. I make money moves. Like, I'm focused on me. I'm focused on my coin. I'm focused on this beautiful hydrated skin. I don't have room for you. All right. 8th card out is the Queen of Cups. Exactly. This is you. This is your energy right now. Like, And also I'm seeing this as someone else's energy who loves you, who really loves you. Multiple people who really love you and are good for you. Open your heart up to them. I think your problem this week will be discerning who you should open that heart up to and who you should, kick to the curb. Queen of Cups next to the 10 of Pentacles, like this is long-term love energy, someone who wants to be here long time. And just also emotional happiness in general. And I'm seeing long-term success for yourself, stability, inner stability for yourself, healthy boundaries, learning healthy boundaries, really. Final card out, King of Swords reverse. You know what? This Queen of Cups, which I feel like is your energy, is surrounded by 2 kings, both in reverse. I feel like many of you lack trust when it comes to men or the divine masculine because you may have been hurt in the past. Okay? And you know what? Even if you're attracted to women, it doesn't have to be romantic. Like, this could be a fear because, like, I'm seeing masculine energy people, or like a man who, multiple men or masculine energy people who wounded you in the past. And I feel like that's why you kind of keep your guard up a little bit at times. So, yeah. Specifically, masculine people who exhibited very poor leadership skills, very poor initiative, and were very cold, callous towards you, like afraid themselves to share their feelings or show their feelings because, whatever. They may have been avoidant, honestly. You were wounded by an avoidant person who was too afraid to open up emotionally, share their feelings authentically, and they had very poor leadership skills on top of that, which just sucks in any capacity. And from that wounding, it's almost like you took on some traits of avoidance yourself. And I feel like those are being worked through right now, learning how to open your heart back up and trust the right people again. So thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Very good week, honestly. We see money, milk and honey, guys. Great week for money coming in, having more than enough left over to buy what you want, enjoy what you want, and also love. Money and love, guys. Lots of eyes on you. You're healing, you're glowing, you're thriving. Blessings from the universe itself is coming through as well. So if you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my spiritual life coaching sessions there and my goddess energy intention oil there, so check it out. Bye-bye.